This section is an entire week in the Come Follow Me manual, and yet there is no history and context on it to be found in 3 separate books that I looked on, which I just think is a little funny. So there's not really any history and context, but what we're gonna read is so good. A lot of verses that you're gonna want to highlight as to stand out. Maybe as like, do you have like separate colors for separate meanings? Maybe one of the colors like favorite. I feel like that's the color you're gonna want to use. Now, we haven't read scriptures in a few days because when I saw how long it was, and then when I saw that Come Follow Me used an entire week, I was so busy I couldn't deep dive into it. But then I read it and I'm like, there is no deep diving. It's just beautiful. So I am gonna split it up just for the sake of your brain. I don't think you want to spend that much time with me, and it is long. So it's 75 verses. So I am going to break it in half, simply for the fact that, you don't spend too much time with me on your phone, So we'll just read. Now let's just read first, and then we're gonna talk. We're gonna go up until the first 17 verses, and we're gonna talk about why you love it so much, although it'll be pretty obvious. Okay, are we ready? Doctrine and Covenants 45. We're doing it. We're tackling an entire week of Come Follow Me right now. All right, but as always, and mostly, enjoy this hands-free reading of your scriptures. Set your phone down. Lay down, close your eyes, multitask, just listen. See what sticks out. I feel like more things could stick out when you just let your mind wander in what you're hearing. You know what I mean? Okay, hearken. How many times can you point out the word hearken, hear, listen? I don't know, let's see. Hearken, O ye people of my church, to whom the kingdom has been given. Hearken. Hearken ye and give ear to him who laid the foundation of the earth, who made the heavens of all of the hosts thereof, and by whom all things were made, by whom all things were made which live and move and have a being. Oh my goodness! Didn't I just go on my stories and tell you, like, look, this microphone I have next to my bed and never use it. Now I'm going to use it, and you're going to hear me so well, and it's going to be awesome. And here I am not using it again. Exhibit A. Whatever. Next time, because it's downstairs. Okay. Sorry. And again, I say hearken. This is like the 4th time already. Hearken unto my voice, lest death shall overtake you. In an hour when you think not, the summer shall pass. That's a really good response. Well, what's on the line here, folks? Well, death. Not just dying, but like death of your soul, death of eternal consequences. Okay. And harvest ended, and your souls not saved. Listen to him who is the advocate with the Father, who is pleading your cause before him. Listen to him, so we're talking about Christ. Listen to Christ, who is your advocate to God. Christ, who is pleading your cause to God. Standing side by side with you. And he's going to tell God about you. Let's come back to that. Saying, Father, behold the sufferings and death of him who did no sin. Behold the sufferings and death of him who did no sin, in whom thou wast well pleased. Behold the blood of thy Son, which was shed, the blood of him who thou gavest, that thyself might be glorified. That is why he did it. Wherefore, Father, spare these my brethren, and believe on my name, that they may come unto me, and have everlasting life. Hearken, O ye people, of the church, ye elders, listen together. Hear my voice while it is called today, and harden not your hearts. For verily I say unto you that I am Alpha and Omega, and the beginning and the end, the light and the life of this world. I love that. The life of this world, to truly and really live, well, it's with him, because he's the life of the world. Now where am I? I don't know. A light that shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehendeth it not. I came unto my own received me not. But unto as many as received me, gave I power to do many miracles, to become the sons of God, and even unto them that believed on my name, gave I power to obtain eternal life. Even so have I sent mine everlasting covenant into the world, to be a light to the world, and to be a standard for my people, and for the Gentiles to seek to it, to be a messenger before my face, to prepare the way before me. Wherefore, come ye unto it. And with him that cometh I will reason as with men in days of old, and I will show unto you my strong reasoning. Wherefore hearken ye together, and let me show unto you even my wisdom, the wisdom of him who ye say is the God of Enoch and his brethren, who were separated from the earth, and who were received unto myself, a city reserved unto a day unto the righteous shall come, a day which was sought for by all holy men, and they found it not, because of wickedness and abominations, and confessed they were strangers, a pilgrim on the earth, but obtained a promise that they should find it and see it in their flesh. Wherefore, hearken. I will reason with you. I will speak unto you and prophesy, as unto men in days of old, and I will show it plainly as I showed it unto my disciples, as I stood before them in the flesh, and spake unto them, saying, as ye have asked of me concerning the signs of my coming in the day when I shall come in my glory in clouds of heaven to fulfill the promises that I have made unto your fathers. For as ye have looked upon the long absence of your spirits from your bodies to be in bondage, I will show unto you how the days of redemption shall come, and unto the restoration of the scattered Israel. So we're going to stop there. That's the first 17 verses. We're going to keep reading, but I want to break this section up before we switch tracks a little bit. Let me tell you the things that I underlined to make this chapter about me. Are some of these underlines a little out of context to the verse or the sentence? Yeah, a little bit. Do I ever care? Not really. So here is what my soul likes in my underlines. Obviously, if we are looking for repetitive words, sometimes a good idea. Why is it being repeated so much? What can we think about? The word hearken, 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 all within the first few lines. Let's see. Let's keep counting. Listen, hearken, listen, hear, hearken, hearken. I'm sure I'm missing some, but that's a lot of them for just being the first page turn of the verse. Now, it's so interesting. Here is a thought I want you to think about as I read these underlines. The only context to this chapter is, yet again, as we've read about in the past multiple chapters, is there is a lot of false revelations happening among the saints. Foolish stories are published, are circulated. They're trying to prevent people from investigating and embracing and furthering in the gospel and in their faith. And this is the response. Is it? It's not. But when we think of us or them going to the Lord because of all of this false doctrine, just things about the church that aren't true. And then this is his response to it. Did he even mention it? He doesn't. Why do you think that is? If these verses that we just read are very, well, really, it has nothing to do with people doing or saying anything about publishing false doctrine about the church or trying to destroy and bring the saints down. It doesn't say anything with that. How can that apply to us when we think of so many people coming after the church? So many people using things against the church to try and turn people away from their faith. It's the same thing that's going on. So what could they be telling us on how to respond to that? Well, if we take it out of this section, the response is what? Listen, 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 hearken, hearken, hear. Who are we listening, hearkening to as our response? Well, Christ. So his response, the teaching here is how do we respond to people trying to tear down us and our faith in the church with all of this false publishings of it? Hearken, 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 hear, hear, listen to Christ. Why? Why should we listen to him? Well, he's the only one that matters. He's the one that is pleading our cause to God himself. And we do not want to be on the other end of that when we're standing at judgment bar and we're shoulder to shoulder with Jesus. And he says that phrase, I knew him not, to God. I think we make full circle on that thought, on how also to respond. But let me go back again to my underlines. Ready? To whom the kingdom has been given. Right there. He's talking about the people of my church. That's you. To whom the kingdom has been given. To whom all things were made. Hearken, hearken, hearken. Listen to him who is the advocate with the Father, who is pleading your cause before him. Talking on Christ still, suffering death of him who did no sin. I like that because it makes me think of, well, me. He kept his end of the deal. So it helps me to stay focused to try and keep my end of the deal. Or else that would have been in vain. What he did would have been in vain. And I can't bear that thought. You know what I mean? Come unto me. Have everlasting life. The light and the life of this world. Darkness comprehendeth it not. I came on my own, and my own received me not. Receive me, gave I power. Them that believe, gave I power to obtain. Be a light to the world. Come ye unto it. Let me show unto you, even my wisdom. Allow me to show you these things. Well, how? What is that word let? Let me show you these things. How can we let him? Well, hearken, 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 hearken. Listen, listen. Allow him by listening to him, probably trusting him. Now, if we go back to hearken, it's listen and obey. So there's action that needs to go behind that. They found it not because of wickedness and abominations. Of course, you know me, I always circle, I will, I will, I will, I will. There are 4 of them that I circled, boop, 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 15, 16, 17, all have an I will to it. I will reason with you. I will speak unto you. I will show it. I will show. So, there's the first 17 chapters. That's a good place to talk about on its own. Let's keep reading. Now we're going to pick up in verse 18. And we're going to start talking a little bit about the signs of the times. I have a good thought. Let's just read. Let's just keep going. All right, here we go. And now ye behold this temple which is in Jerusalem, which ye call the house of God, and your enemies say that this house shall never fall. But verily I say unto you that desolation shall come upon this generation as a thief in the night. And this people shall be destroyed and scattered among all nations. And this temple which ye now see shall be thrown down, that there shall not be left one stone upon another. And it shall come to pass that this generation of Jews shall not pass away until every desolation which I have told you concerning them shall come to pass. Ye say that ye know that the end of the world cometh. Ye say also that ye know that the heavens and the earth shall pass away. And in this ye say truly, for so it is. But these things which I have told you shall not pass away until all shall be fulfilled, which mean God keeps his promises regardless of what is happening or logic maybe to say otherwise. All shall be fulfilled. Promises will be fulfilled. And this I have told you concerning Jerusalem. And when that day shall come, shall a remnant be scattered among all nations, but they shall be gathered again, and they shall remain until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And in that day shall be heard of wars and rumors of wars. I feel like my phone's going to keep falling. And the whole earth shall be in commotion. Men's hearts shall fail them. That's a famous verse. And they shall say that Christ delayeth his coming until the end of the earth. And the love of men shall wax cold, and iniquity shall abound. And when the times of the Gentiles is come in, a light, it's one of my favorite scriptures, a light shall break forth among them that sit in darkness. And it shall be the fullness of my gospel. But they receive it not. For they perceive it not the light. They turn their hearts from me because of the precepts of men. Are we doing okay with this phone here? I do not know. How much can we really do some self-reflection on the times that we are living in right now? But even with us, maybe our efforts or our mind, our focus, they turned their hearts from me because of the precepts of men. Could we maybe doing that in a small way right now? Are we, I don't know. You can think about that. And in the generation shall the times and the Gentiles be fulfilled. We're talking about fulfillment right now. And there shall be men standing in that generation that shall not pass until they shall see an overflowing scourge, for desolating sickness shall cover the land. But my disciples shall stand in holy places and shall not be moved. I think obviously there's a lot of spiritual symbolism behind standing in holy places. Yeah, we know that. But I do think it's kind of a fun when it's talking about everyone falling for whatever reason. Sickness, just everyone is falling except who? Well, his disciples. Just the difference between standing and falling, I think, is just a beautiful visual between the contrast. So yeah, stand in holy places, cool. But I just love the idea of everyone falling except those who are believing, hearkening, listening, obeying, acting. All of that is coming will not move them. That is the most powerful promise or fulfillment, if we want to go back to that wording that we read a few times. But among the wicked men shall lift up their voices and curse God and die. Well, yeah, because if things are not going how you want and you're suffering, even now as disciples, if we are suffering, it's so easy for us to just look up at God and be like, what the heck? But this is the last days. I mean, you had your time, and now time is up. Anyways, there shall be earthquakes also in divers places and many desolations, yet men will harden their hearts against me, and they will take up the sword one against another, and they will kill one another. So everyone's turning on each other. And now when I, the Lord, had spoken these words unto my disciples, they were troubled. And I said unto them, be not troubled. For when these things shall come to pass, ye may know the promises which have been made unto you shall be fulfilled. Now, if we're talking about the last days, anytime we talk about the last days, we have lots of, a plethora of different verses that are pretty gnarly. A lot of terrible things are going to happen. And yet, what did it say? Did we not get to this, to the joy of saints is how it was said when we're talking about the last day. Well, why? Is it just because we're going to be like, told you? I don't think so. What did I write down? Okay, I'm not. Ben said dinner is ready. Oh my gosh, where's the thought that I just wrote? Oh, yes, there is wickedness, but there is also God. So I think that is a beautiful perspective when we read about terrible things happening. And yeah, the second coming, but maybe just in general, terrible things happening. Yes, with the wicked. But also, there is also God. God coming, God fulfilling, God mindful. So it's not just warnings of danger. This is come follow me. There's not just warnings of danger. There are also signs that God's promises are about to be fulfilled. So that's just kind of a more, upbeat perspective to view this. Oh my, where did I leave off? I don't know. Why do I do this? I'm so sorry. And now I said unto them, be not troubled. For when all these things shall come to pass, you may know that the promises which have made unto you shall be fulfilled. God is still here in all of this, in all of the wickedness, and all in the falling. Be not troubled is what he wants us to know, because he's here. We are his, and we will stand. And when the light shall begin to break forth, it shall be with them like unto a parable which I will show you. And look and behold the fig trees. We talked about fig trees in the fig parable before. And ye see them with your eyes, and ye say that they begin to shoot forth, and their leaves are yet tender, that summer is now nigh at hand. Even so it shall be in that day when they shall see all these things, and they shall know that the hour is nigh, and it shall come to pass that he that feareth me shall be looking forth for that great day of the Lord to come, even for the signs of the coming of the Son of Man. And they shall see signs and wonders. Can we think of the last days without the signs and wonders phrase coming to our mind? I can't. Anyways, they shall be shown forth in the heavens above and in earth beneath. They shall behold blood and fire and vapors of smoke. And before the day of the Lord shall come, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon be turned into blood, and the stars shall fall from heaven. And the remnant shall be gathered unto this place, and then shall they look at me. And behold, I will come, and they shall see me. Now, if we go back to us thinking about promises being fulfilled, this is probably the best one to hold on to. I will come. When things are falling apart around you. I think that this will be a good one to have echo in your brain and in your heart that he's coming. They shall see me. In clouds of heaven, clothed with power, with great glory, with all the holy angels, and he that watches not for me shall be cut off. And I didn't mean to do it like that. Wherefore, if ye have slept in your peace, blessed are you, for as you now behold me, and know that I am, even so shall ye come unto me, and your souls shall live, and your redemption shall be perfected. Come unto me. Your souls shall live, and your redemption shall be perfected. It's just, if we were to bullet point all of the promised blessings that we're reading here, there would be so many, and they would be the best of the best promised blessings to remind ourselves of the reality of what we have available to us when we hearken, listen, hear him. And the saints shall come forth from the four quarters of the earth. Then shall the arm of the Lord fall upon the nations. And then shall the Lord set his foot upon this mountain. It shall cleave in twain, and the earth shall tremble and reel to and fro, and the heavens also shall shake. And the Lord shall utter his voice, and all the ends of the earth shall hear it. And the nations of the earth shall mourn, and they shall have laughed. Shall see their folly. Let me put a different emphasis on that. The nations of the earth shall mourn, and they that have laughed shall see their folly. And calamity shall cover the mocker, and the scorner shall be consumed. And all they have watched for iniquity shall be hewn down and cast into the fire. Folly is just a lack of good sense. Folly is foolishness. So I think now, kind of, when we're talking about the people who are against us, our faith, trying to bring us and tear us and our faith in the church down, which we see a lot of right now, he's really just saying, he's going to take care of it. They're not. Sometimes how can people get away with that? You know what I mean? Well, they're not. Which brings me to the question of, what are we focusing on? Where is our mind? We're going to end there. We're going to pick up on 51 tomorrow, which is a really beautiful place to pick up. These are the next few verses, if you want to keep reading, are actually probably perfect verses to post or read or print out for the Easter season. These are actually, although not talking about Easter at all, the perfect scriptures I would even want to post about as we think about Easter. So good things coming tomorrow with this little bit of chapter that we have left. But let me come back to my ending thought. Let me tell you how I marked my scriptures to make it about me. All shall be fulfilled. A light shall break forth among them that sit in darkness. They received it not. I underlined that because I like to question myself and my efforts. In what ways am I not receiving him? Can I tweak things to better receive him, better hear him, turn to him? A light shall break forth among them that sit in darkness. They receive it not. They turn their hearts from me because of the precepts of men. I underlined that because, again, a good self-reflection for me. How am I doing that? In what ways can I fix that? How am I letting men alter my thoughts, my actions, my faith? Great question. My disciples shall stand, shall not move. I will come. They shall see me with power. Come unto me. Your souls shall live. Your redemption shall be perfected. Calamity shall cover the mocker. I circled that because, again, it's more of a perspective for me of what am I focusing on? Am I focusing on other people and what they are or are not doing? Am I focusing on the negative, on the darkness? Because again, the history and context to this was in response of people trying to tear down the church and the saints and their faith. And what was the response? Jesus. Jesus was in entirety the response. Where is my focus? On things, other men of the world, darkness, destruction? Or am I focused on the promises of Christ? I don't know. Okay, we were a little all over the place, and by we, I mean I was a little all over the place, but if you made it to the end, you are a certain kind of elect. Thanks for joining me. Tomorrow we will read, we only have a little bit left, and like I said, ooh, they are good Jesus verses you're gonna love, especially now for this Easter season. I will see you tomorrow.